evening. Welcome to Friday's Sid Says. It's the end of the week, and as always, we've got a Premiership game coming up this weekend, and we're the first on tomorrow at 12:30. So all the anticipation, all the excitement from last weekend, all done and dusted as we now go into a vital game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. However, we'll be talking about transfers today, all the gossip, all the latest news. And joining me today, I've got the second main man, third main man. We're all part of the group. I've got Darius 3K. Good evening, Darius. How are you today?
I feel like Pingu right now. I don't know if anybody remembers who Pingu was, but he was a childhood hero of mine. He used to live in an igloo. I feel very cold right now in my igloo. But you know what? I'm happy. I'm excited. I feel good, you know. I think the transfer window has been good, but there's still so much more I think we can do. So I feel privileged to be on Sid Says to talk about this stuff. So thank you very much for having me. And hopefully, like I said, we can put some of our wisdom out there and hopefully it comes to fruition.
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, Sid Says on a Friday is with myself and Sam Spurs for life. But unfortunately, Sam couldn't make it tonight, but couldn't have asked for a better substitute in the main man of European football, Darius 3K. So we'll talk about the couple of deals that have gone through going out the door. We'll talk about the players that we link with, and also maybe the potentials coming in. So shall we talk about the two that have left now, or shall we wait till the end?
Mate, they've gone, so let's just spend as little time as we possibly have to on them, because then, well, technically they are still our players, but in my eyes, they're no longer our players. So I'd rather talk about them now and get it out the way.
Absolutely. Right. So, in terms of what happened last weekend, as far as I'm aware, Antonio Conte's just got a fine, which is good. Tuchel's got a fine and he's got a touchline ban. Antonio Conte hasn't got the ban, which is fantastic news for Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I see reports, I see statements, I see everything from Chelsea crying, whining about the Romero incident with Cucurella. As far as I'm aware, FA have dealt with it on the day. They didn't see anything wrong with that tackle. However, we all thought, you know what, it was a bit naughty, but it's done and dusted. However, Mike Dean now has turned around and said, well, technically I should have looked at it, and now hindsight, I should have called it back and told Anthony Taylor to go to the monitor, review it, which obviously meant Romero would have got a red card. Everybody's crying about it. Everyone's doing petitions about it, about Anthony Taylor. I still just see now, just before I came on air, about Cucurella again. They're all complaining. It's done and dusted. Get over it. You can't bring something back that's happened. As far as I'm concerned, it's now over. It's salt, whatever you call it, under the water. End of. However, there's one thing that Chelsea, if they're that intrigued, well, not intrigued, but if they're that hell-bent on doing something, let's do something about that person who has racially abused Arsenal number 7 son. Yeah? Now, let's see how good you are with that now. Nothing's going to be dealt with Romero and Conte and Tuchel's all done and dusted. Now, we all know the picture. The picture's out there. The guy's out there. Now, make a statement and tell people you've got him, you've banned him, and there's no room for racism at any football club, let alone Stamford Bridge. I'm talking any football club. That includes our football club, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man U, wherever you are. There's no room for racism. So deal with that now and make a big headline, and let's sing and dance about that on Twitter and social media as well. Darius, what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see that Spurs haven't really mentioned anything on their Twitter page. I don't really know about any other social media pages, but on their Twitter page, I haven't really mentioned anything. Even Chelsea came out and said something a bit flaky, even if it was flaky, they still came out and said, you know, they're trying to condemn, they're trying to find the guy. Seems pretty obvious to me. Obviously, I don't know the guy, but it seems pretty obvious. His face, I'm pretty sure his time will come. But I think you're right. It's not just a Chelsea thing. It's not just, you know, a thing that we can put on those fans. It's a cultural, it's a societal thing. And I believe that if it's not, you know, combated with harsh punishment, I feel like people feel I will be able to get away with it. So he should not be able to set foot in that stadium again. And he should also then be criminally charged. And that will then hopefully deter idiots from speaking if they want to speak their mind about things like that. That will hopefully deter idiots from speaking their mind, because if you have anything to say in terms of along those lines, don't say it at all. To be fair with you, you're contributing better by not saying anything at all. So yeah, I just think it's sad to see that it's still happening. And I know obviously with it being Chelsea, there's going to be that stereotype being thrown around, but it's important to mention that you need to, give the same energy to all clubs. No team should tolerate that. No club should tolerate that in any, part of the world. So it's sad to see, but hopefully it is being sorted out by the authorities.
Exactly. I mean, it's only a minority, or in this case, it's just the one person. But nowadays, you cannot say or do anything in the stadium because the cameras and everybody else is always on their mobile phone. So somebody somewhere is going to spot it, or even on TV when it's live, somebody's going to spot it. So you know what? You're just silly to do something like that, because that person could now end up with a stadium ban, maybe
and a criminal record.
And a criminal record, yeah. If the police investigate it and that, yeah, and so be it. Because at the end of the day, racism is racism, no matter whether it's verbal or physical. Any type of racism, it's racism, and we should all condemn it. And if anybody knows that person or whatever, if the police or Chelsea haven't got their name, then just give it, because it's got to be dealt with sooner or later, Anyway, enough of that said. So we saw the game last weekend. We've seen now that Romero's out for 10 days, maybe more. This situation with the left back, and I know Conte has said it as well that he's not finished with the signings. So unfortunately, I haven't got any left centre backs, because we've already discussed the centre backs who are top priorities are the Bastonis and the Guardiols and all them lot, Pau Torres and all them lot. There's no point keep going on about these players. However, I have got one centre back on here, which may or may not surprise you, but the three amigos I've got in question that we are going to talk about. And before we talk about the three amigos, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Please smash that button, follow us, subscribe to our channel. I know it's the usual people that I love every week that come on every Paxton Road show. David Clark's, the Jews Nuts, Kevin Murray's, and everyone. Just smash that like button, guys, please. Much appreciated. And I'm sure Darius as well will be willing everyone to just smash that like button, because we bring the content to you, and all we ask is smash it.
It shows that you enjoy it, and it shows that we're delivering good content and good quality content for you. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. But if you really want to show, that you are enjoying our content, please do as Sid says, and hopefully we can keep on bringing out this great content, Sid. But show me these centre backs that you've got. So, discuss them. Let's see what you've got.
I am right. The three players that I've got in question, and here we are. Right. So I've got Serge Milinkovic-Savic, I've got Malinowski, and I've got Killman from Wolverhampton Wanderers. These are the three players. I know we've been linked with Savic before last season, and then he's come back into the equation again. But this time now, I think it's brewing up. Malinowski's in the last week, not even last week, last 3-4 days, is sort of hotting up. However, we'll talk about him as well. Max Killman is another one which we're sort of looking at, youngster, as an option, because we're not going to get the big boys that we're after. So, in more depth, let's start off with Serge Milinkovic-Savic. 20. Is that 20? I can't even see my one right.
27, I think it says.
27 years old. Centre midfielder, right-footed, nationality Serbia. Last season, he made 47 appearances, 3,772 minutes of playing time, 11 goals, 11 assists, which I think is fantastic for a midfielder. I'll quote a certain Paxton Road person, Sean, and his quote was, "He's a beast, and I would love him at our club." You're the European kind of an expert on football, mister. What's your thoughts on this guy?
I don't really know what I can say about him that isn't as positive as possible can be.
One sec, Darius, can we do what we did Same again yesterday. Your mics.
Is it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Just switch it off and switch it back on.
How we doing? How we doing?
No, same.
That is annoying. I don't want to. Is it still bad?
It's still bad.
Right.
It's still bad.
Right, talk about him, Sid, and I'm going to hopefully try and leave him.
Reboot, and then I'll get back onto you. And in the meantime, I'll just quickly go through the comment section while Darius reboots. Good afternoon. Well, good evening to NS Sports TV. He's saying, hi, guys. Big up. Good evening, Kevin Murray. Kevin Murray saying, how's it going, Sid? David Clark is saying, hi, fellas. I've just got out of taxi back from sunny Corfu. I hope you had a fantastic holiday and the weather was as gorgeous as it was here. And I hope you got a suntan. Can't wait for the updates. Has Corella had an 8-game ban for the stamp? No, he has had nothing. Absolute nothing. That has been completely ironed over. No mention of that whatsoever. I think all they're bothered about is Romero should have got sent off. They're not even looking at that. They should have even been looking at Reece James's second yellow card as well. But in terms of Cucurella, nothing at all. And I don't think they're going to even look at anything. Jews Nuts is saying here, sod Chelsea. They're a bunch of morning windbags. Right, we've got Darius back on stream. So
please tell me it's good.
That's perfect. Yeah, fantastic.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching the microphone. So if anything happens, it is not my fault, guys.
That's fine.
I'm so sorry about that. Should we just get back into what we were talking about, or do you want to carry on with the comments?
No, carry on. I'll come back to the comments in a second. So yeah, Milankovic, Savic, what's your thoughts on this one?
You hear the Italians say, "What a player!" He is a brilliant player. Like the true definition of an all-round box-to-box midfielder. He's got fantastic dribbling ability. He's got fantastic passing ability. He's got fantastic shooting ability. He's also, quite a dominant presence in that
Mike,
area. He likes to dictate.
Darius, your mic's gone again.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with it. Is it still bad?
Yeah, it's you're sounding like a robot. Basically, it's really crackling. It's crackling.
I have no idea. No idea.
Give it one more shot. Give it one more go, because we did it yesterday and it worked. But you're still crackling.
Let me try again. If not, Sid, I'm gonna have to.
That's fine.
To leave the reins to you, my friend. No,
that's fine. That's fine. Try again one more
time. Sorry about this, guys. Again.
That's all right. That's fine. Kevin Murray saying, "Big, well said, Darius." Good evening to Tenor Football. He's saying, "Big up Paxton Road, familia." Tenor Football is also saying, "Savage, yes, please go get him before Man United inevitably do." I don't think Man United are looking at him, but I think Casimiro is someone they're after and they've got. So that's an interesting one. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Juice Nuts is saying here, English quarters, aren't we under the quarter? Need some English lads. I totally agree with you, Juice Nuts. We've said this many times before. English players are a bit of an issue, and we're not looking at any English players apart from James Maddison. There's one for you, Darius. You need to learn sign language.
The worst thing is I actually was taught a little bit in primary school, but that's about 15, 16 years ago, mate. So I wish I could. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to try this one more time. And I am assuming it is working because Sid hasn't said anything bad yet. But I am sorry about this. To be fair with you, just to finish on Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, because I know you guys probably do have a bit of a familiarity with him. It's his presence. It's his dominance in that midfield. He seems like he controls games, and somebody who can control games but also impact the game with a goal, with an assist, I think is definitely the play that we need to get. And I don't know if you are going to speak about it, Sid, but I'm going to mention it just now. I've seen rumours in the Telegraph reporting that a certain Pierre Hoiberg may be a replacement to
I was going to bring that up, but go on. Darius, I'm really sorry, but you're breaking up again. It's gone bad again.
Look, guys,
it's gone bad again.
This is not going to happen again. Sid is going to look after you. I'll be in the comments. Hopefully, I can sort this out. I'm so sorry. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah. Darius, what you do, just come into the comments as well, but completely reboot the whole system and come back. And then we'll give it one more go. If that works, then we're good. If not, then I'll have to ride solo. Nice one. Okay, cool. Yeah, so David Clark is saying Savage would be a great signing. And just as Darius was leading onto it, the rumours that have come out, I think not only on Daily Telegraph, but I've heard it a few other sources, is PEH, Mr. Hoiberg. Apparently, Real Madrid are looking at Hoiberg as a replacement for Casimiro, and also in general for their midfield. So the rumours are that if Savage comes to Spurs and we put a bid in, which apparently we already have put a bid in, however, Lazio holding up for more dosh, as always, and nothing's concrete yet. But Hoiberg has now come into the equation, so they're now saying if we get Savage, then Hoiberg could be leaving, may leave potentially, else to go pastures new. In the comment section, please, is Hoiberg a player that you'd be happy with leaving, or would you like him to stay even if we bought Savage? Because for me personally, and I think was it Kevin Murray or Juice Nuts mentioned about this English quarter as well. If Savage was to come in, that's another foreign player. We keep Hoiberg as well. It gets more complicated for the European, well, the Champions League registering players, because we're supposed to have a certain quarter of English players and we're struggling. Obviously, Harry Winks is training with the under-23s or away from first team, not with the first team. So that's an issue. And it looks like he's going to leave. Serge or Reguilon is probably leaving, but there's no firm bids for him as well. So English players, and I think I've got an English player as one of the three further down the line. In regards to Hoiberg, Craig Bowler is saying here, upgrading Hoiberg for Savage would be amazing. Yeah. Juice Nuts is saying, if PEH to Real Madrid is true, then sell him. Craig Bowler is saying, it's a minimum of 40 million for Hoiberg, massive chunk towards Savage. Totally agree. Savage, for me, I mean, Darius is not here, so there is a lot of talk. I like this player. His aggression, his passion, and a midfielder scoring 11 goals and 11 assists last season. Looking at his card from FIFA, he's got 85 pace, 97 dribble, 88 shot, 88 defensive capabilities. His passing is 93 and his physicality is 95. So 6'3" as well, which is a massive upgrade in terms of height. And I was reading today, I don't know if many people have read, but apparently on average now we seem to have one of the highest, well, in terms of height squad in the Prem, which I was quite surprised at actually, because looking at Chelsea the other day, I thought there are still quite a few players that are short. But if they're saying that we have one of the, well, we're top on the average of height, so this would make an extra addition. 6'3", like I said, plays for Serbia and is consistently playing for Lazio week in, week out, every week. So leave your comments in the section, please. Or would you be happy with Milenkovic Savic in our midfield? And if so, would Hoiberg be the one leaving the club? Interesting one, very interesting one. Another a couple of comments on this one. David Clark is saying, for the Champions League, we need 8 out of 25 man squad to be homegrown. 5 are already in the squad, so just add 3 under 23s. We could do that. We could add under 23s, but the problem is, which under 23s are we going to add? Because Parrot's gone. Alfie Divine is only 17, but he could be bought in. So, and to be fair, I can't think of any other player that we've got, under 23s, unless you're going to bring the likes of the centre back. We've got Patsky, or whatever his name, Patsovsky. Who else is there? Harvey White. And that's about it, really. If there's any other under 21 players or under 23 players that you think could get into this squad as homegrown players, just leave it in the comment section. Craig Bowler saying here, our under-21s are all on the B list for a Champions League, and we are loaning them, a lot of them out. That is so true. That is so true. Zero in the Tester is saying, try your hardest to keep Hoy, but if Real Madrid offer 40 million plus, you have to take it. It's Darius, by the way. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Darius. If they're offering 40 million, then for me that's a decent fee. That's a great fee for Hoiberg. And if we're getting an upgrade in Savage, then all day long, because we've got Skip, we've got Bentancur, we'll have Basuma, and then we've got Savage. So I think it'd be brilliant. I would be absolutely brilliant. As Darius is saying here, we basically bought him for 3 million. Remember, exactly. So it's a massive upgrade. Moving on to our next one, I have Ruslan Malinowski. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know a lot about Malinowski. He's only coming to the equation on, I think, midweek that we've put in a bid for him, and we're looking at him as an alternative. Obviously, Madison and Zaniolo are our main two priorities. It seems like Conte sort of been put off now with Madison. However, Arsenal are looking at Madison, and I think yesterday Brendan Rodgers is saying that they're going to offer him a new contract because he wants to keep Madison. Whether that's just paper talk or whether that's just Brendan Rodgers trying to up his price so that they can get maximum price for him, who knows? And Zaniolo, we're hell bent on him to get him, but it looks like something some way is not right. He's happy to come to Spurs. The fee's not a problem. I know Roma want to sell him, but I believe Mr. Mourinho is causing a havoc in terms of he wants to keep him at all cost at Roma. He doesn't want to sell him. He sees him as one of his main men. So now all eyes have turned to Malinowski, 29 years old, 5'11", position attacking midfielder, left-footed. However, he can also play with his right foot, a bit like Son and a bit like Perisic, where he can play on either flanks, and he's just as good. He's predominantly left-footed, but apparently he's just as good on his right. Nationality Ukraine. Last season, he made 41 appearances, 2,302 minutes, 10 goals and 8 assists. So it's not too bad, not far behind Savage. My main man is not in here. So Darius is saying basically elite shooting ability, likes to play in the half spaces just before the box on the turn. Played for Atalanta, who are a technically flexible team and usually plays in a 3. I think he's played cam, right wing and right midfield. 100% I agree with you, Darius, there. I've read the same as well. However, as Toxic Headshot is saying, Malinowski is in advanced talk with Olympique Marseille. So basically, Marseille have put in a bid for him. They've accepted the bid. Players talking to them. However, Spurs are still in the running, but we've not put a bid in. Now, until we put a bid in, then we come into the equation. We're just huffing and puffing at the moment. I don't know whether Malinowski is our number one priority or whether we've got Zaniolo or Madison as number one priority, and we've just got Malinowski in the background just in case these don't materialize. However, from what I've heard, what I've seen, Darius is also saying 99 shooting as well. If we leave it too late, then Marseille are going to get him, and it could be another player that we miss out on. David Clock is saying, I'm from Leicester and I can tell you that Madison is going to be offered 200 grand a week contract. So again, that maybe Spurs don't want to pay 200 grand. I don't know. Craig Bowler is saying here, if we get rid of Winks and Reggie, then we have a 25-man squad. We would have 18 foreign players, so would need to leave one player out, which wouldn't be great for someone. Totally agree. Someone is going to miss out in this European squad. 100% somebody's going to miss out. Now, whether it's a player that we all like and think shouldn't, might happen. or maybe it's somebody that is not going to get much game time, and Conte thinks, do you know what, mate? It is, it is what it is, unfortunately. The problem with Winks and Reggie is, like I said, Everton were after Winks. However, they've gone cold completely. Now with Dele Alli moving to potentially Galatasaray, is it Galatasaray or in Turkey? With Dele Alli moving, which is potentially happening, that then frees up a space for them in the middle of the park. Harry Winks then could be an option for Everton. However, maybe Frank Lampard's looking elsewhere. But if they want an English player who's played in the Prem, can't do any worse than what they've got in the middle of the park, then he's a good option. I personally believe, and I think a few people have said this, Harry Winks' situation is going to go to the very last day of the transfer window, and it could be a Harry Redknapp special where last 5-10 minutes of the transfer window on August the 31st, he ends up somewhere. Whether it's the Prem, I don't know, but that's that. Sergio Reguilon, no offers at all have come in for him. Nobody's put a bid in. No one's asked for a loan deal. Nobody's interested at this precise moment. So I don't know what's going to happen with that one. Toxic Hextras is saying, Malinowski, if he joins us, it would solve the free kick and set pieces issue. We was discussing this yesterday on the preview show, just after we went off air. We was saying that we haven't addressed our free kicks and set pieces at the moment. Kane's been taking them, but he tends to hit the wall a lot. Eric Dyer's taken them, and he's hit the wall a lot. Son's taken them. Sometimes he's not beating the wall again. So we have an issue with set pieces. We haven't got anyone really that can take set pieces. Perisic came on against Chelsea the other day, and obviously we scored from the corner, which was a set piece. But we need someone tried and tested that can actually be wicked and be the main man for set pieces, because we've got height. We've got players that can attack the ball. We just have a need of a set piece taker. So he could solve that issue. So could James Maddison as well. Craig Bowler saying here, swapping Hoiberg for Savage is like for like in terms of foreign players, so wouldn't make the problem any worse, but obviously doesn't make it any better either in terms of homegrown quarter. This is a massive problem, and Conte is going to have to solve that problem, unfortunately. It's a good problem to have, but we'll just have to see on that one. Again, I think we have, I believe, Paratici and Conte have other options as their number one in the attacking midfielder. And like I said, I think Zaniolo is the one they're looking at, with Maddison in second place. And then Malinowski is the alternative from Atlanta if nothing materializes. However, let's see what happens with this one. Going on to the final player that I believe we've been linked with and we are looking at is Max Killman of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Again, 25 years old. This answers a lot of questions in the group, on the chat. English, homegrown player. So we'll go straight into the squad for the Champions League, because obviously being the homegrown player. Age 25. Again, another tall, 6'5", centre-back, left-footed. Last season, he made 34 appearances, 3,077 minutes, 53 tackles he went into, and he won 33 tackles. On Football Manager or FIFA, his ratings are 70 pace, so he's not the fastest of players, but maybe faster than Dyer Davis. 62 dribbling, 42 shooting, 70 defensive, 59 passing, and his physicality is 74. Now, the reason I put Killman in here is purely because, after last weekend, our centre-back positions, obviously Dyer and Davis didn't have the best of games, and people now was calling out for them to be removed, not good enough for the entire season. They're not going to help us in the Champions League, blah, blah, blah. We need to upgrade now. And then with the fact that Romero got an injury, 10 days, maybe more, it's calling people to say, well, we need a centre-back. We need one in now. Now, if we remember, and I think on the talk yesterday, comment section, people did say that when Romero got injured last season, we played quite well. We didn't concede a goal in a few games. Sanchez came in towards the end of the season, and we've done really, really well. They kept quite a lot of clean sheets. Dyer, Davies, and Sanchez kept a lot of shutouts as well. So it was good. However, we've all known how much of a colossal Romero is. And if we miss him 10 days, maybe longer, it could be a problem. At the moment, he's missing the Wolves game. He's missing the Fulham and Nottingham Forest game. Potentially could be back for the Fulham game. However, that week we've got Fulham, then we've got a Champions League game, and then we've got Man City away. So if the push comes to the shove and he's sort of semi-fit for the Fulham game, we have to rest him for the Champions League and then for the Man City game. That's my opinion. If anybody else has got any comments on that, just put them in the comment section. The other thing as well is Killman is an English player. He's played for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's got Premiership experience. We've got Langley as well at the moment. So bringing Killman in, it's not going to cost us a lot of money. And homegrown player, potentially, I've heard he's a good player. He's done quite well. Potentially, we can keep him and could be an actual replacement for Dyer or Davis. Langley is going to be we're going for a season, so who knows at the end of the season whether Langley stays or not. We're not going to get the main centre-back that we're after. The Guardiols, the Bastonis, the Pau Torres. I believe Pau Torres is now linked to Chelsea and Man City. Apparently, he's not, I heard yesterday 75% done to Chelsea, Man City, but I don't know how true that is. City have got a surplus of centre-backs, so you know what? I don't know why they want to buy all these centre-backs and then maybe just keep them there. I don't know. However, we need problems solving at centre-back. I don't think Conte's priority is a centre-back at the moment. I think he's looking at an attacking player. He did say yesterday as well in his press conference that he's still looking at more signings. So watch this space on this one. These are the three players potentially at the moment. There's a lot of heat going on with these players. Whether we get all three of them, I doubt it. Maybe two could come in. Maybe one might come in. Maybe we might not even get anyone and they might have somebody else on their radar. But like we've said before, Malinowski is a potential. However, it all depends on what Marseille put the bid in, official. We haven't. We're just in the terms of Ranieri dilly-dallying around at the moment. So let's see what happens on that one. Just go through a quick, just going through some of these comments on here. Toxic Headshot is saying, Malinowski, if he joins us, would solve the free kick and set pieces issue. Yeah, we've discussed that already. Tenor Football is saying here, does Malinowski go straight into the first team? Not for me, he's saying. I don't think he would start straight away. I believe it'd be Son, Kane, Kulusevski, depending on form. Because don't forget, we've got Richarlison as well coming in. So it's them four for them three positions. If Malinowski comes in, it's a good option to have as an attacking midfielder. And it's also a good option to have, which we didn't have last season, where we're looking at the bench, Conte, and he's looking, there's no one there. But now he's got abundant of players, experienced players that he can bring on. So he probably would be another one that sits on the bench. Toxic Headshot is saying here, Tottenham are waiting for other options. I would like Savage, 12 goals, 11 assists. This would be great deep midfield and attacking. Conte would love him. Absolutely. Savage is a beast. Goes straight into the midfield. Tenor Football is saying here. And David Clark is saying, Wolves' experience hasn't worked out lately. I would not make it worse. That's true, but I didn't want Traore in the first place anyway. So, do you know what? Let's see what happens with this one. At Craig Bowler saying, at David Tanganga is a homegrown player, so wouldn't need to leave him out. Windows be really tough on Mora. Yeah, I think Milan were looking at Tanganga, but they've cooled their interest in that one. So Tanganga probably would be the option to keep if no one comes in for him and add to the list for the Champions League as a homegrown player. That's good thinking. Craig Bowler saying, who we getting rid of? To bring in Killman? We're not getting rid of anyone, to be fair. I think because of the Romero injury, and it's just, I personally believe, because he's an English player, played in the Prem, and our top centre-back targets are out, I'm just looking at maybe they're bringing him in just to stop gaps, like last Sunday when Dyer and Davis had a bad game. I'm not saying they're going to have a bad game every week, but just in case, I don't know. I mean, he might make Spurs better. He might make us no better than what we are. I don't know. Also, players in and out. So, like I said before, no news on Harry Winks. There's no concrete offers at all for him. No loan offers, no permanent deals. Serge Reguilon, nothing in terms of anyone asking him for a loan or a permanent move as well. So there's two players we could end up being stuck with. But I believe going into the last day of the season, it's going to be an interesting one for the transfer window. And Ndombele signed for Napoli on a season-long deal with the option to make the move permanent. I know there'll be a lot of Spurs fans, fingers crossed, saying, please sign him at the end of the season. I don't believe we're going to get the 60 million we paid for him. If he does do well at Napoli and they offer anything in the region of 30 million or whatever, we need to take it, because the worst thing to happen for us is for him to come back at the end of the season, because he's not gonna get back into this team. Conte don't like him. I don't think there's any issues whatsoever. Giovanni Lo Celso has signed for Villarreal on a season-long loan deal with no option to buy. And Ndombele has an option for Napoli to buy him at the end of the season. Lo Celso, there is no option to buy, which is quite interesting. However, there is a break in the contract in January. If anyone puts a bid in, if he's doing really well at Villarreal, somebody can put a bid in. If Villarreal match the bid, they can buy him. If not, then whoever puts in the bid can. So we have got that little bit of a break in January. So fingers crossed he does well between now and January, and we can get rid either in January, or he does really well for the whole season and he goes. So that's the two outgoings, which is really, really good to have. We're still left with Winks and Reguilon. Interesting Hoiberg, like I said to you, from Real Madrid. Destiny Udogie has signed on a 5-year contract for £15 million, and he's gone straight back to Udinese for a season-long loan deal, which I don't know. I mean, if he's that good enough, what I've seen, I think we should have kept him, because obviously Sessi's not going to have the best of games every game. Perisic is going to come in as well, extra cover. But again, it's that foreign quarter as well, so I don't know. David Clark is saying here, Mora should have been sold 2 seasons ago. He's not pulling his weight. We need a striker who scores goals and assists, unlike Mora. I totally agree. I think that's why we've got Richarlison. He can play across right side, left side, and centre forward. So I think that's the reason they bought him. Mora, Conte has said he's not going to sell him. Mora has said he doesn't want to leave. So unfortunately, we are stuck with Lucas Moura, because I think what Conte sees is when he comes on, he gives 100%, 110%, and he just runs. I know the ball bounces off him a lot, but unfortunately, it is what it is. We've got a comment here from Zaid. Conte did not receive a touchline ban. Yes, Zaid, we've already covered that. Tuchel did, but Conte didn't. David Clark, Langley is a top player, but he's on 200 grand a week, of which we are paying half. Conte is paying double that next year. I totally agree with you. It depends on how he plays. If he starts getting into the team and starts playing week in, week out, and he does really, really well, then I believe if we can negotiate, which I'm hoping Paratici could, then you never know. But don't keep your fingers crossed. Jews Nutsy saying here, Winks and Reggie will most likely be with a new club. They still have quality. 100%, both of them have got quality. It's just what we're looking for, I believe, and whether any clubs are actually interested. But like I said to you, these two, final day of the transfer window, I can see a pair of them leaving on the last day of the window. Whether they stay up here or go abroad, it'll be a very interesting one. Nottingham Forest have bought 17 players. So if Nottingham Forest, anybody from Nottingham Forest are watching, listening, we've got 2 players available here. Premiership material, played in the Prem. One's homegrown. If you're interested, yes, please, put your sign in. Tenno Football, is it kind of crazy that we didn't sign a mainstay centre-back to partner Romero after all. We've tried. Bastoni didn't want to leave Italy. He's saying his homegrown player doesn't want to leave. Guardiola at the time said he didn't want to leave as well, and then the price was quite high. Pau Torres, a few clubs came after him. Koundé we was interested in. Botman we was interested in. I think there is a lot of asking price-wise. I don't think I don't think Daniel Levy was willing to pay, but now we've got Paratici and now we've got Daniel Levy. Let's see what happens, because if a player doesn't want to leave the club, then there's nothing the agent can do. There's nothing the player can do. If he's held bound on staying at that club, then that player's going to stay. And unfortunately for us, the players that we really, really want don't want to leave their club. But let's see what happens. There's still 11, 12 days left of the window. So let's see what happens. Tenor Football is saying here, a free signing left wing back Perisic, a one for the future right back Spence, and a lone centre back who is a gamble. Yes, it is a gamble, but until we see him actually play, have some game time, we will never know how good the centre back is. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for everyone in the comment section who've been leaving comments. The 3 players I have covered are the ones that are hot topic at the moment, and I'm sure Hoiberg's situation will arise a lot more on here as well. We've still got 11, 12 days of the transfer window to go. I will keep you updated. Once again, if you haven't liked, please like the stream, subscribe to our channel, follow us. There's always something happening with Paxton Road TV. Again, David Clark is saying about Bremer wanted Italian citizenship, so he stayed in Italy. This is the problem, and Juventus are coming in for all the players as well. And when they come in, it is what it is, unfortunately. But as for transfers, that is it at the moment. It's the same old. I think a lot of the players are the ones that it's on Groundhog Day, unfortunately. But I'm keeping you updated. As soon as I hear anything special, any new signings, I will keep you posted. You'll be the first to know, whether I do it from here, from the stadium, like I did the other day with Udogie signing. You'll be the first to one. So Paxton Road TV is the place to be. Forget any other place. Come and join us. Choose not this saying, well done, Sid, for flying solo. Take that, Shushal. Our man also has a bicep. Listen, I'm going solo. I can do it. I went, unfortunately, Darius had mic issues. I think he had it yesterday as well. So we might do a GoFund page to buy Darius a new microphone, please. So I'll put it up there later on. If we can all chip in towards buying Darius a new microphone, and we'll get him back on stream sooner rather than later. It's been an absolute pleasure from myself. Thank you very much for joining me, whether you're listening or watching on any stream. Again, tomorrow is 12:30, Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think I said it was a 3-0 win to Spurs. I'll be there at the ground, or maybe not. I don't know. At the moment, I'm not. But anyway, let's hope for 3 points. Start the weekend off to a flyer. Kane to score, Kulu to score. I've said Richarlison is going to score as well. Have a great Friday evening. Have a great weekend. And hopefully Spurs will be riding high. Not solo, but they'll be riding high and will be at the top of the table again. Have a great evening, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you soon.